About set to begin another week of football, and happy to have you along. We are underway on Thursday night primetime. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. So out come the Steelers now for their first drive. They'll be led out by their highly decorated quarterback, Aaron Rodgers.
Almost certainly a future Hall of Famer, and he's still seeking the storybook ending to his career. But he had patience, looked around, took his time before choosing his team, and boy, are they glad that he did, because he still has a lot of juice left despite being 41 years old. Finishing the top 10 in passing yards last season with nearly 4,000 yards and touchdowns as well with 28.
And this is going to be a Steelers first down as he gets it up past the 35.
The tackle made at the 36-yard line. A gain of 11 on the play. And a Steeler first down.
CD, always more eyes on these night games, and they started it off nicely there on that run.
Yeah, and you're exactly right. Don't think for a second these players don't know and understand that. They want to impress their peers across the league. They also want to win the ball game. That's the way to get things going.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he's got some space here. And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. 43 yards rushing for him now at his first 2 carries of the ball game. They went with the nickel look defensively, so they had 5 defensive backs in there. Didn't help them stop the run.
Yeah, I love that, the nickel look. 5 cents, 5 DBs. But what also happens then? You take a big body off the field in order to insert that guy. So you're taking a big off for a little. And oftentimes you can run the football effectively against that defense.
He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6.
That run right there was an offensive line coach's dream, wasn't it? Guys picked up all of their assignments, created a nice gap for the running back to get through, pick up 7 yards. Yeah, he's probably chortling on the headset right now saying, we got it going, boys. Let's keep it going.
Here's Rodgers to throw. Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. Trey Hendrickson showing off his pass rush repertoire that time.
Now talk about a rhythm breaker right there. They've been moving the ball well. Drive had started beautifully. That one's going to hurt.
Going to need a crafty play call here. 14 yards is what they need to try to convert this thing. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Chris Boswell on for the field goal. A 53-yard attempt.
Boswell's kick is good. And the Steelers will jump out to a 3-zip lead. They were probably hoping to get him a little bit closer for a shorter field goal, but he was able to get it done from deep.
Nice little tester for him to begin things, huh? I think he was hoping for a little bit more of a chip shot. Instead, they made him stretch it out a little bit, but he's got to feel great now that he put it through the pipes.
After the successful field goal try, here's Boswell to send it away. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Here come the Bengals now to take over. They'll be led out by their veteran QB, the former Delaware Blue Hen, Joe Flacco.
And what a marvel Joe Flacco is. Continues to be a reliable quarterback into his 40s. And we say it all the time. He came off of his couch and made a team better. Guess what? He's doing it again. And now has a chance to not only be good on the field, but also be one of the great mentors in a quarterback room.
Brown with the stick skills. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. All told, it's an even 30 and a first down.
Now that's a big-time run. Lightning in a bottle, forget it. He exploded out of the bottle for that type of a pickup.
Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 41. They go right back to the ground here, and Brown trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and no more. No gain on the play there, 2nd down.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
They keep it on the ground. Again, it's Brown. And not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. You know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks, and when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
3rd down and 13.
Here's Flacco.
Got a man open. It's Chase.
And he'll be taken down well before the first at about the 36-yard line. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And it'll be 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked.
Well, that's always a risk on those longer kicks. You have to drive it low to get it there. That opened the door for a better chance for the defense to get a hand on it, and that's just what we saw there.
And even if the odds increase a little bit because it's a longer field goal attempt, it's still difficult to get hands on the football and create a block. Big-time excitement for that unit, getting through and knocking that one away.
So good field position for the Steelers as they come up 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. Now a play fake. Rodgers.
Normally he's pretty reliable. Usually catches what's thrown to him. On that play, he simply dropped it.
Brings up 2nd and 10.
Now a 2nd and 10.
Rodgers now to throw. Into the hands of Skoranek. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes and they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. And a penalty flag comes in as that one winds up incomplete, but the contact is going to move the ball well downfield.
Well, that one hurts. I mean, it was 3rd down, of course, but now the penalty, and we're back to 1st down.
Yeah, it hurts momentum in a big way, and they built that up here in the early going. Now, that leaves the opposition with a 1st down. That's a mistake you don't want to make at this point in the game.
Gainwell will score. Touchdown, Steelers.
Touchdown, Pittsburgh.
Nice job of polishing off that drive, but all the credit there goes to that play prior.
Yeah, it certainly does, because after that big play, I think resistance almost felt futile at that point, didn't it? And the very next play, they come right back, quick, fast, and in a hurry, and put it in the end zone.
Chris Boswell now for the extra point. He's got it, and now it's a 10-0 lead here in the opening quarter.
Steelers 10.
Scoring summary, 3-play drive.
And it was Kenneth Gainwell who finished it off with a touchdown run. So an early 10-0 lead for them now as they kick it away. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line.
Cincinnati coming back onto the field here for their second drive. They'll look to get something started. They need to, down 10-0 early as they've got it 1st and 10.
And they'll begin here with a run by Brown.
And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
Over the middle, that's caught by Chase.
And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. That'll be a pickup of 10 as they try to recover from this 10-point deficit.
1st and 10 at the 35-yard line.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Flacco from the gun. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down.
Patrick Queen got in there to stick him. He gets the sack.
And they went empty backfield, and because of that, nobody was there to pick up the blitz.
And you know that offenses, when they go with the empty backfield, they have different things designed on every play to try to account for things. But what people often forget, defense is audible as well. And a lot of times when they see an empty backfield, they audible right into a blitzing situation.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. Setting up to throw, Flacco. And pressure coming, and they got him once again.
Alex Highsmith making the nice play and getting the sack.
Well, this is what happens when you get behind the chains, as people like to say. When you have obvious passing situations, hard to vary it up and fool a defense.
And you hate those situations if you're an O-lineman, right?
Oh, without a doubt, because you just know they're coming, and you never know exactly how. They can be exotic in their blitzes, or their athletic ability just takes over.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. From the gun, Flacco.
They'll fire one downfield for Fant.
And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Well, that play was certainly a little bit different because on the previous play, he was sacked. This time, protection a lot better. Had time to survey the field and still couldn't find an open receiver.
So on 4th down, Ryan Rico on to punt for the Bengals. The back deep for the Steelers is Calvin Austin.
And that's blocked. The Steelers get it. And that pressure there came from his left side. Maybe could have sped up the release, but he couldn't get it off in time.
And truthfully, the speed should be consistent each and every time. It should be quick mechanics. The best punters are the ones who can catch it one step and get rid of the football. Those are the ones you want. Anything more than one step in the NFL, you're flirting with disaster.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. On the draw, Gainwell.
And he's going to be met at at the line of scrimmage and taken down. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty. But when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Now run straight ahead with Warren.
Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. That'll wind up as a loss on the play, so now they're staring at a 3rd down and 12.
Well, they went back to him, but the results were similar, so I highly doubt that he'll get another opportunity here on 3rd and long.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long.
That one thrown away from the pocket. The officials kind of looking at each other, but they'll say there was a receiver in the area, so no penalty, just an incomplete pass.
Smart move to throw that one away. You're in field goal range, so you definitely don't want to be loose with the ball. And that's great work by this defense to force a 4th down.
Boswell's kick is good.
So the big return had him fired up, but in the end, the offense stalls out. They only muster 3.
Yeah, the excitement was there after the return, but they didn't move the ball at all after that. They didn't even get a 1st down.
After the successful field goal try, here's Boswell to send it away.
And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. Cincinnati set to take over once again.
They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on 1st down. Looking to put a drive together. They defer to Brown to start the drive. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40.
42 yards rushing for him now, and he's carried the ball just 5 times.
1st down. 1st and 10 at the 40-yard line.
Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards, but also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
That one taken in by T. Higgins.
And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
And I think he just wanted to get the ball to one of his playmakers to see if they can make something happen, but he ends up throwing into a crowded area, and after the catch, he isn't able to do much with it.
They fake the handoff. Now Flacco to pass. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on 1st quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
So the completion good for 7 there. And it's 2nd down.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
Flacco will take to the air again. Now with him, and Flacco drops the football. It's loose. Points 1, 2, and 3 in their defensive game plan was to get to the quarterback and knock the ball free. They did it there. Luckily, offense hangs on to it.
Yeah, that's got to serve as a wake-up call, though, because they can't afford to let the ball go over to the defense and miss opportunities. And I'm not saying it happened here, but you know what a good rule of thumb is when a play like that occurs? You know who usually recovers it? The guy who missed his block and let his quarterback get hit.
Operating out of the gun, Flacco. He's got his running back out of the backfield. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 26. Give them 22 there on the third down conversion.
Cincinnati Bengals. First and 10 at the 26-yard line.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field, because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed first down there. They needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
Flacco. Open man is Yoshivas. This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22.
A gain of 4. It's now second and 6 at the Steelers' 22-yard line.
From the 22 now, here's second and 6.
An inside give, Brown. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's third down.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
To pass, Flacco. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. A defensive-minded coach loves to bring the heat, brought the heat there, and it worked out.
And nowadays, all those defensive-minded coaches, for them, it's all about getting the football. I went into one facility, and as soon as you walked into the defensive room, there was a football, like on a spring, and each guy that walks in that plays has to act like he's knocking the ball free. They want those instincts created. They want them to think about that all the time, and that's what they try to preach.
Looking to put a drive together. Now after the fumble recovery, it's Rodgers. The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. Daxton Hill. Credit him with a sack, and it goes as a loss of 6. The defense, they brought the house. That O-line, they were overwhelmed.
To put it mildly, because they didn't have enough bodies to block all the guys that came at them. Their best move, how they would have been better served, just turn around and yell, "Look out!" because here they come.
$13-0 is the score after 1 on EA Sports. Steeler football here to begin quarter number 2. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Throwing now is Rodgers.
Got his man, it's Warren.
So just 3 yards on the completion there. And that'll make it 3rd and 13.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. Able to convert on 3rd and 14. A terrific play call.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
A gain of 9 brings up 2nd and 1 at the Bengals' 32-yard line.
From the 32-yard line now, here's 2nd and a yard.
Working from the gun, Rodgers. They'll check this one down to Gainwell. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
But they've certainly done a nice job spreading the ball around on this drive. This time he gets it out to his back, and it's another nice play and another first down. They've got the defense on their heels a little bit. They're reacting instead of being aggressive and making plays.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 3 at the 19-yard line.
To throw is Rodgers. And that went to the right side and incomplete.
And here you're down in the red zone. You need to be smart, not force anything. So that's a wise decision to just get rid of the football.
The 8th play of the drive coming up. It's 3rd and 3. Here's Rodgers. And this is going to be incomplete. That'll bring up 4th down as the Cincy defense stands up on 3rd.
And based on my math, they've only converted 1 time thus far in this game, so you can see the frustration starting to come out a little bit. 3rd downs, they've been a problem for them all game. They've got to start becoming solutions.
Now Chris Boswell for the Steelers field goal try. This from 36 yards out. Boswell's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
So the defense are able to force their first turnover of the game, and then they add on to that by getting the field goal.
And you don't just want to take the ball away from your opponent, partner. You want to make them hurt as well. And if you don't score yourself on defense, turn it over to your offense and have them put points on the board.
After the successful field goal try, here's Boswell to send it away.
And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. The Bengals offense and running back Chase Brown set to take over once more. And he has been a big component of the passing game so far. You see the numbers for this first half. This defense is going to need to find some way to key in on him because he is eating them up right now.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive.
Right now they're on the wrong end of the scoreboard, and that won't change if this drive ends like the last one when they had that lost fumble. So you have a feeling taking care of the football is certainly paramount right now.
Yeah, and it's not just the guy who dropped it on the last drive, is it? That means everyone who might touch the ball is getting the same message. Guys, ball security, paramount. Let's take care of it. And if we do, we've got a chance to put points on the board.
From up near the 40 now after the big play to start, here's another 1st and 10. Operating off play action, Flacco. He's got his man on the crossing route. This is Higgins. 15 more yards there, and quickly another 1st down.
That's another Bengals 1st down. 1st and 10.
And a nice job by the two of them to not only connect on the pitch and the catch, but to carry over their practice work to the game field. They saw the adjustment by the defense, made an adjustment themselves, and picked up the 1st down.
That's caught by his big tight end, Mike Gesicki. And they'll wind up getting this to the 37. Gain of 9.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches as we just saw him do there because He really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days, but you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. They go backwards there 2 yards, and 2nd and 1 is now 3rd and 3.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've only converted once in 4 tries. This time it's 3rd and 3. Passing play, Flacco. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And unfortunately, he's able to reel it back in, but it's going to go down as a big loss here on the play. Offensively lucky they're able to keep the football, but now 4th down, so they'll have to boot it away.
I do think, though, they're going to look at this as a positive. 1, they recovered the fumble, so they retained possession. But 2, being able to punt it changes field position for them. Imagine if that turnover takes place there. Now your defense has to go onto the field and try and hold. Instead, they get a little breathing room.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And this is going to work out well as it's out of bounds near the 13-yard line. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. He's been effective so far over the 40-yard mark here in the 2nd quarter. Don't forget about those guys up front, though. They've been effective, too.
The leverage game has been in their favor. They've been the ones who've been able to bend their knees, drop their hips, and get a little bit lower than the guys on the other side of the football, and they've moved them out of the way for the runner.
Sometimes that's tough for those big fellas.
Not an easy thing for them to do.
Forced out to his left. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
Buried by multiple defenders on the drive's first play. So, Charles, no turnovers yet for this offense, but those sacks now, they're starting to pile up.
And one thing usually leads to another because they've got to figure out how the offensive line and everyone else involved in protection can keep their quarterback upright and allow him a chance to throw the ball downfield.
And way up past the 35 before he's taken down.
67 yards for him on the ground so far tonight as he has been terrific in this first half.
Well, he's broken off some big-time runs here in this first half.
Yeah, and let's just face it. When you go into a game, you think you've got the plays that are going to work, but when you actually get out there and they're starting to happen, your confidence rises, and he's running with terrific ability right now.
Yeah, they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, a sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you make curl a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And it'll bring up a 2nd and short.
At the 43-yard line.
Throwing is Rodgers. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
Shamar Stewart
able to get in there and drop him behind the line.
So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And, partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's a game plan that they've had so far because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
The 20.
He's going to pick up the first down and then some.
And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. DK Metcalf, 43 yards. And the Steelers are able to add on to their first half lead. And there they got him the ball. Just get it to him, let him do the rest.
You know, he probably said that to his quarterback as he broke the huddle. I like the play call. Just get it to me. I'll take care of the rest of it.
Helping out his rack, right? RAC?
Run after catch, and he loves that, and he's going to carry that in at contract time.
Boswell for the extra point. And that PAT pushes the lead up to 23 now. A drive that time of 6 plays.
And it's DK Metcalf who finishes things off with a touchdown reception.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown.
And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22.
The Bengals offense now, they head back onto the field.
Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession, but I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. If they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
T.J. Watt, always a disruptor, there to blow that play up.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Flacco. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now it's Flacco.
Throw right side, pulled in by Higgins.
And he'll be stopped short of the first down as they rally to tackle him at about the 28.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
So on 4th down, out is Ryan Rico to punt.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away.
On the return, Austin.
Call it a 44-yard punt, 5 on the return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10.
Get a look at DK Metcalf as this offense returns to the field.
He's doing what he's capable of, having a solid game. Not the most amazing game. He's not over 100 yards, but a good game so far.
And you just know that mentally he feels like he's one catch away from turning it into a great game and starting on that road. And the defenders are well aware of that, too. They've got to figure out a way to not let that escalate. Keep him right in this zone here and call it a day, because otherwise he can really decimate him.
Better believe they are well aware of his playmaking ability. Trey Hendrickson, his 2nd sack of the night.
Well, Charles, this has been something to watch so far. This is where you really feel for a quarterback. He's been running for his life in this first half.
Brandon, that's 5 sacks already, so you know he's got to be saying, can we get some more guys in here to block, please? Because if we don't, we're going to need another quarterback.
Now following the sack, they'll come up here on a 2nd down and 12. Now Rodgers.
The throw here right sideline falls incomplete.
What a sequence there defensively. You get the sack to move him to 3rd and long, then here, just nothing available, and he's got to throw it away.
And the Steelers on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd down and 12. Rodgers now to throw.
And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now fourth down.
That might be the third down stop that they needed because they've had a lot of trouble slowing down this offense in the first half. This might be their opportunity to get off the field.
Fourth down, Corliss Waitman now on to punt. Charlie Jones deep for Cincinnati.
And here's a fair catch taken at about the 24-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt.
And the Bengals take over 1st and 10.
Looking to put a drive together. Flacco off play action.
And he'll find Chase on the right side, complete.
Complete to number 1, Jamar Chase. It's a gain of 8. Brings up 2nd and 2 at the 33-yard line.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33.
Another one into the hands of Jamar Chase.
And he is going to lose yardage here. 2 yards the loss, and now they go from 2nd and 2 to a tough 3rd and 4.
They threw the screen to the perimeter, but to no benefit at all. Tackled behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of yardage.
This now a 3rd and 4.
Flacco looks to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Second quarter action with 1:59 remaining. Here's Ryan Rico now.
Remember, though, he did have one blocked earlier. Now Austin.
Found good room to run there. Returns it 14 yards.
And out will come the offense as they take over. And now out come the Steelers. They have been red hot, sometimes white hot here in this first half. They're just looking to add to that total right now.
And this has to serve as a reminder to myself because so many times I get wrapped up in the play calling, how they've sequenced things, how it's run. But, you know, at the end of the day, it's still execution. Those guys out on the field, and right now they are locked in and really looking good.
They'll try to continue to be locked in here as we get ready to approach halftime.
Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's 2nd down.
Partner, what we're seeing so far is a defense that's certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
And that's incomplete.
Well, so far in this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure or do they play coverage on this down?
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. To throw, it's Rodgers. And he finds Austin complete. And he'll only get this to about the 44 as they stop him short of the line to gain. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
On 4th down, Corliss Waitman on to punt.
His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. And a fair catch called for and made at the 12-yard line. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And the Bengals will have a 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. Now Flacco. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. No gain on the screen there at second down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Here's Flacco.
Over the middle, he finds Higgins.
5 yards, now it's 3rd and 5.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down.
Looking deep here for Chase.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted.
And the Steelers are going to take over a couple of yards shy of midfield. And Charles, it seems like sometimes when you fall down early, there can be a tendency there to try and get it all back in one fell swoop. And that time, that thinking leads to an interception.
And I believe you brought up a really good point there, Brandon, because you try and force plays, right? You try and get all back in one shot, just as you mentioned there. And you know you're going to need some big plays to get back into the game. But ultimately, you really can't force what isn't there.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 48. So after the INT, it's Rodgers. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Well, he certainly didn't like what he saw at all from the coverage on his primary reads, and he didn't even have any luck trying to get back to his safety valve. Give defense a credit. Coverage was in lockdown mode everywhere.
2nd and 10.
Now Rodgers.
That's DK Metcalf running the sled. He's got it.
Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. Rodgers going to throw.
And completes it again to Metcalf.
Now the Steelers use the second of their 3 timeouts.
So as they talk it over, we step aside.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Rodgers to throw once more.
Wilson's got it on the crossing route.
And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. 4 seconds left, and there's the timeout. In field goal range and a chance to tack on 3 before intermission. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. Boswell's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
So the turnover leads to points as they add 3 there.
Yeah, what a sequence there, and a nice one for them. They forced the interception, put together a little drive, and then come away with 3 points. Nothing to it, partner. Just do it.
So barring a touchback, this likely the final act of the half as the kick is away. Charlie Jones now from his end zone.
So halftime is upon us on Thursday night primetime, and we go off to Orlando. And Scott Hansen for our halftime report.
All right, Brandon, thanks much. Welcome in, everyone, to the Orlando studios. Scott Hansen with you for a quick recap of the first half, which has been strongly one-sided. This is heading towards blowout territory unless they can come from behind and get themselves a victory. Let's find out what happens in the second half. Let's go back out to the commentary team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Scotty, thank you as always. Well, likely two very different halftime speeches by these head coaches, that's for sure, as we get set for half number 2. The Bengals with work to do in this third quarter, but they'll get the football first as we are back underway. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Bengal offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. We'll see, Charles, if they had a chance to hit the reset button at halftime. They have not scored. They're facing this big deficit. And if they're going to come back, it's going to have to start right now.
Yeah, and for them, it's not dwelling in the negative because, yes, they were totally ineffective in the first half. But we've seen many games that have flipped around in the second half. It all starts with this drive right here. They get something good going, put some points on the board, they begin to have hope.
Out of his hands quickly to Higgins. So the completion good for 6 yards. And it'll be second down.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down. After seeing that, maybe time to go back to some downfield throws here.
Yeah, anything. Change it up because the teams that win, the best teams, they're the ones that make adjustments. Doesn't mean you can't come back to what you thought you could get done. Sometimes when you open things up a little bit, you can get back to what you wanted to do before.
To pass, Flacco. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there was not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
The Bengals bring out their punter now, as he'll come on to kick this one away. Nifty move. Nice punt, but good work on the return to get back 11 yards. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Time for the Steelers offense now to get set for their first possession of half number 2. And the first half definitely went their way, and this would seem to be a great opportunity to kind of put this game a little closer out of reach with a score here.
Yeah, and it's a wonderful opportunity for them because if they can add 7 more to their lead before the other guys even see the football, that could be the decisive blow in this game. I think that's how they're eyeing it. That's how they're approaching it.
He'll let it fly for Austin. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
When you look at the scoreboard, you'd think they'd be pretty comfortable right now with this lead, but these guys are absolutely not going to let up. They want to increase their lead, and they want to do it with a big play. Unable to connect in that attempt.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now it's Rodgers. Completes it to Austin. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
Calvin Austin. A 7-yard gain on the play. And it's 3rd down.
Here's Rodgers to throw. Pass to the sideline and pulled in. And he will go out right near the 35-yard line. 23 yards on the play.
Normally on third down and short yardage, you're thinking to throw to your tight end. It's just going to be a simple chain mover. But this time they let him roam down the field, and a nice dart picks up the first down and then some.
Running a jet sweep. This is Austin. And this is not going to work as planned. He's going to be met and dropped behind the line of scrimmage.
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up second and 11.
That's the danger, Charles, of running plays like this for your wide receiver. They can hit big or they can be duds.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that, because if they're forced to try and go around defenders behind the line of scrimmage, sometimes you can give yardage in order to gain it. But in this case, they gave yardage and didn't get it back.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. What can't Aaron Rodgers do? The legwork there getting him to first.
He's been patient this entire game, waiting for the perfect moment to surprise him with a quarterback keeper. There he catches him off guard and converts his first rush of the game into a first down. Gotta love that efficiency.
On 1st and 10, it's Gainwell.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
What a luxury to have a guy like this who can not only spell your starter, but can come in and keep drives going.
Here's a 2nd and 8. A handoff for Warren.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. He'll pick up only a yard there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 7.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
To throw is Rodgers.
Throwing quickly to Wilson. And the Steelers are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
At the 4-yard line.
It's all pretty simple sometimes, isn't it? Go where the defenders are not, and he does exactly that. Makes a nice catch to move the chains. Defense, got to find a better way of accounting for the shorter routes that are being run against them.
And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal. Good first step there defensively, but they're still knocking on the doorstep, so maybe another run here?
I think so, and one of my favorite coaches used to say, son, if you could darn near lay down near the end zone and get in, give me my best power running play with my best back.
Touchdown! Pat Fryermuth from 3 yards out.
And the Steelers just continue to roll.
There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself, no reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Extra point now by Boswell. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. The 10-play drive that time. And it ends with the Steelers finding the end zone. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown.
And he returns this to the 22. Cincinnati's offense coming back here onto the field. But the disparity in this game, it just seems to grow with each possession here, Charles. They are really struggling. They have not put up a single point, and on the other side, the points keep piling up and up and up.
So you know the frustration level has to be rising, right? So they've got to find a way to quell that, because otherwise They certainly won't get anything done in this one. Keep diving deeper into the offensive playbook, but bottom line is don't quit competing.
On 1st and 10, here's Brown. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Another run for Brown on 2nd down. And he'll get a couple up to the 29.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Flacco. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have the Bengals first down by a couple of yards as they're able to convert here on 3rd and 3.
That's good.
At first glance, I thought he just used his size in order to win the route. But he also had a little subtle move in there as well. Made the defender think he was going one direction and was able to track the ball in another.
This is Brown on the draw play. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Not a lot of running room there. Not a place to make a cut and kind of exit out because they had everything bottled up. Looked to me like the linemen were taking on their blocks really well and giving up no creases.
Here's a 2nd down and 7 from the 37.
Passing play. Flacco. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. It's a Bengal first down, a pickup of 11.
There's a nice pickup right there, and after watching that play, I'm thinking about all the lost opportunities that they've had so far in this game. But right now, just focus on continuing to move the ball the way they did on the last play.
Flacco throwing quickly out wide. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion. And it's 2nd down.
It's a gain of 5. Brings up 2nd and 5 at the 46-yard line.
Draw play for Brown. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down. Pretty effective blitz there to stop the draw play right in its tracks.
And actually, when they blitz, draw play is supposed to work very well. You're supposed to have them bypass the runner, and he slips past them. But they put their eyes in the right place, took away all the creases, and slowed him down in a big way.
And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 29-yard line. The Bengals passing game finding a rhythm. They've got another first.
Well, a lot of ground left to make up, obviously. A lopsided contest, and we're already in the 3rd quarter. Now, they won't get it all back in one play or one drive. That's cliche, but it's true, Charles. If they can just maybe get plays like that and get a little momentum built, they can get the scoreboard a little closer.
And can you add some blinders to the cliche, meaning keep these guys from looking at the scoreboard because that doesn't help them at all right now. Their focus needs to be on finishing every drive with points and playing mistake-free football from here on out.
At the 22-yard line.
2nd and a couple.
They fake the handoff. Now Flacco to pass.
Throw left side complete to Chase.
And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. That'll put him at 66 receiving yards now for the game, and he's got a first down.
1st and goal at the 6-yard line.
They go pass again with Flacco. And that is caught. He's got it for a Bengal touchdown. Noah Fant, a 5-yard touchdown. And the Bengals are able to cut into that deficit. Well, down in this part of the field, CD, they'd love to get him the football, and right there, a little pitch and catch for the score.
Yeah, and he's such a weapon when it's that close to the end zone, and they love being able to rely on him to make those kind of catches. Talk about trust, talk about confidence, and he produces.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And that trims the lead a bit, but still standing at 26 points. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Steelers offense and Aaron Rodgers getting set for their next drive. And he had it going in the first half, that's for sure. He's really had his way with his secondary. They've been powerless to stop him, and he'll look to keep it rolling right here. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Still well in control of this ball game despite giving up that touchdown a moment ago. And this is going to be a Steelers first down as the tackle made here at the 36.
Strong on the stop. It's a gain of 10. First down, Pittsburgh.
He's turning in a pretty impressive performance running the football, and a big reason why they have this nice lead.
And in days gone by, we would clip this out and put it up on the refrigerator, wouldn't we? Clip out the box score. Nowadays, not too many newspapers out there. Maybe you screenshot it online.
And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football. Sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Ball spotted at the 45. Here's second down and a yard. Straight ahead, it's Gainwell. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. Okay, 2nd and 1, you get nothing. What now on 3rd and 1?
Sorry about that. I was so excited I jumped in on you. This is almost like practice to me. Line it up and do it again. You didn't get it right the first time. Just get right back on the ball and go. It doesn't matter that they know you're...
Now look out, Rodgers lost the football. And the Bengals grab it. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. So he went out of the pocket left, and then things got dicey.
And what often happens is when they get outside, they want to keep their eyes downfield in order to try and complete a pass. But when they try to make a play, they've got to get their footwork involved, and that can really mess them up as well. And in this case, nothing went right, and the ball got knocked free.
Now Joe Flacco and the offense heading back out onto the field. Last drive, surgeon-like, dare I say, 7 for 7. That'll help your QB rating.
It will indeed, won't it? Can you figure out QB rating? Can you do it? Can you do the formula?
No, I just know the higher the number, the better.
Yeah, that's what I've been told, too.
That's what I know.
I know that in the NFL, 158.3 is the number they're all trying to get to. I think he was that on that last drive.
So the fumble recovery, now Flacco to throw. Got him in, it's Brown. 2 yards on the pickup there. And that will bring up second down.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it could turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
Now it's Flacco. They'll get this to his tight end, Gesicki. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. 23 yards, the final tally.
And remember, this drive started off following the turnover. And they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
Chase, the motion man right. Fourth quarter coming up here on Thursday Night Primetime. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Cincinnati. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. Running right, here's Brown. And a short pickup there down to about the 9. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal.
Do you think after that last run they're thinking to themselves, we had to wait all day to play this night game, and we're still not able to run the ball the way we want to?
Yeah, this defense, they've risen to the challenge all evening long. 2 of their 3 red zone trips so far, they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. And he's going to be dropped back at the 15-yard line. Alex Highsmith able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening.
I don't know what else can be said about this pass rush. They have been sensational. CD, that is now 6 sacks for them.
And how many times do we talk to offensive coordinators and they say a sack is a result of everyone on offense not doing their job? But let's be honest about this one. This is the offensive line unable to counter the pass rush. They've been teeing off all game long.
3rd and goal, trying to make that scoreboard at least a little more respectable. Flacco. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. That's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
The field goal doesn't help. They're going to go for the 6 here on 4th and goal. They're going to try it. Here's Flacco. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. T. Higgins, a 14-yard touchdown. And the Bengals' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. He's got them out now to a 3-score lead here in the 4th quarter after that one, CD. And well, he looked right off the line like he knew that that ball was coming his way, and he secured it for 6 points.
Yeah, and I think when you're leading by a healthy margin already, it actually loosens you up and allows you to take maybe a few more chances and definitely play with more confidence, because he certainly saw something he could exploit in the defense, and he made sure to let his quarterback know, just get it to me. And the rest was all up to him, and he delivered and made it a 3-score game.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And that'll make this a 19-point ball game.
Bengals 14.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. The Steelers offense and their running back Jalen Warren headed back onto the field. And he has put in a full game's work and then some. Just an incredible performance on the ground to this point in the 4th quarter. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. I'm sure the message as they come out onto the field was, hey, take care of the football, because the fumble last possession led to a touchdown. Still a 3-score game, though.
You don't want things to start to snowball. You know, one error leads to another, which leads to another. And then all of a sudden you're fighting for your life down the stretch instead of finishing the game in style, which is what they're trying to do on this drive.
Yeah, it would be a pretty amazing comeback. But we've seen crazier things happen in the National Football League.
We certainly have.
On to give. It's Warren. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 102 yards on the ground for him now, as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on.
First down, Steelers.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
From the gun, here's a run by Gainwell. And he fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain, second down.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead, positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Second and 7. Now run the Warren.
And very little daylight there. He'll get a couple up to the 44.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And that is incomplete.
Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point, and they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
The Waitman now to punt as he sends this one away.
It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return. And the offense will come back out deep in their own territory. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here.
Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
They'll start on the ground here on first down. And he'll use his blockers to get this up over the 20 to the 21. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
From the 21, here's 2nd and 3.
Flacco looks to throw. And he's got his tight end. It's Mike Gesicki. Give him 17 and a Cincinnati first down.
Well, those are the types of plays they probably wish they had made more of in the first 3 quarters. And this deficit going to be tough to overcome here in the 4th. But a nice first down and a pickup on that throw.
Yeah, and this is where as coaches, you're looking for effort and execution, even though the scoreboard is going against you. You want to find out who's going to fight, who's going to scrap, who's going to keep their heads up and continue to play.
Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards.
Bengals first down. 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you try not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
The catch and run pays off for 29 yards.
Another Bengals first down. 1st and 10 at the 16-yard line.
A 3-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a moral victory or something that feels a little bit cheap. But if they trim that lead down to just 2 scores, that's still a benefit to this squad. Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or 2 miss, but that window closed quickly. Setting up to throw, Flacco. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
And they'll send the tight end in motion here. Once more, it's Flacco. And he'll only get this to the 14 as he'll come up well short of the first down. Call it a gain of 3 on the play. And that'll bring up 4th down. Did they maybe play that too safely on 3rd down? I know you don't want to just throw a ball blindly downfield, but that didn't help them a whole lot.
I think they probably said if it's open, take the shot. If not, get something safe because we do have 4th down to try and pick it up.
So on 4th down, on is Evan McPherson and the Bengal field goal unit.
He had his lone attempt blocked earlier.
McPherson's kick is good.
And that'll get the deficit back to 16. So this time the protection holds up for him just fine, and he's able to bang it through.
I think their special teams coach got the point across. He gave him a pretty good earful after the block earlier. And this time, there's no penetration, so they're able to pick up 3.
So after the made field goal, here's McPherson to send this one away. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The visitors' offense and their running back getting set for this next possession. And it's hard to believe you could run the ball a whole lot better than he has. The vision, the cutback ability, the acceleration, it's all been on display throughout.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
At the 37-yard line.
Now 2nd and 3.
Throwing now is Rodgers.
And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete.
He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Now Rodgers. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a first down.
First down, Pittsburgh.
Now that's a killer because you think you've got it absolutely covered, and then he hot-foots it out of there and picks up a first down. Drives you crazy as a defense.
Looked like, you're exactly right. Looked like a for-sure stop on 3rd, and then the tables turn. Here's Rodgers. And completes it to Wilson. And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
22 yards. And the Steeler first down.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomped down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line.
Here's a screen with Gainwell.
And he'll get nothing out of that one.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
The 30-yard line.
They work now on 2nd and 9.
Rodgers now to throw.
A short one there to Freiermuth.
That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2. Now Rodgers.
And that nearly the pick that they needed. He couldn't pull it in, though, and it's fourth down.
How about this defense? They came up with a couple big plays in this sequence, and none better than the one right there, forcing the incompletion and bringing up fourth down.
Now Chris Boswell for the Steelers field goal try. This to make it a 3-score game late. Boswell's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
So that almost certainly the final piece to this puzzle, a 3-score lead. I don't think there's any coming back from there.
But, you know, normally I'd get on you for giving up on the game right here, but I do think you're right in this case. This late in the game, 2 scores is tough enough. 3, I'm with you. That seems out of the question.
After the successful field goal try, here's Boswell to send it away.
And able to get this out to the 25.
So now the Bengal offensive unit back out onto the field.
Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, that's a good way of pointing things out because now it's not a total loss because, as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out-personnel. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
And he is going to lose yardage here.
Nice effort defensively there from Cole Holcomb.
Well, that's pretty symptomatic about how things have gone here. That play was just shut down right from the start.
And not going to give him a lot of confidence to help turn things around. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. To pass, Flacco. Pressure comes, and the Steelers take him down.
Alex Highsmith
bringing the pressure yet again. That's his 3rd sack here tonight.
I remember throughout my career hearing defensive coaches always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. Well, they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed.
Rifles one, that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Joey Porter Jr.
And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Steeler touchdown.
So a 4th-quarter pick 6 here, and that one might put this game out of reach, CD.
I certainly agree with that, partner, and I know one thing, though. That team that just got the pick 6, they're going to keep playing until this one's over. Better be careful. They're looking to get another one.
Boswell for the extra point. And that will bump the lead up to 26. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
The Bengal offense now gets set to head back out onto the field.
And you can sort of sense their dejection. That last pick 6 put the icing on the cake, so to speak, in what has been a rough go for them.
Looking to put a drive together. They'll start this drive out on the ground.
And he edged surges forward, but only gets a pair of yards out of it, and it's second down.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
They'll bring a receiver in motion right.
Now they show jet sweep, but instead a run up the middle here.
A yard in the wrong direction makes third down tougher. Third down and 9.
I know they've got to be careful not to go to the well too often, but it's a fine line, isn't it? Because sometimes if you got success, you want to just keep pounding away.
But no success there. They rallied quickly on the defensive end. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They face a third down now as they try to find a late score. Shrugs him off.
He's still on his feet. He may go.
And all the way in for a Cincinnati score.
Chase Brown,
69 yards.
and the Bengals get a bit closer.
We see this a lot on third and short yardage, especially down here in the red zone. They're going to sell out to stop the run, try and hold them to a field goal. But once the running back gets past the first wave, the resistance can evaporate after that. And he not only picks up the first, but he takes it all the way into the end zone.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good.
And that'll make this a 19-point ball game.
23, Bengals 24.
So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And this doesn't work. The Steelers recover it. The risk-reward of the onside kick, when you don't get it, the risk comes out to play, and here they gave up great field position.
And that's the key to everything, because you're trying your best to press advantages when you have them, and field position leads you to that type of play calling. And whether you want to blitz or whether you want to throw the ball deep, those types of things, now that they've given up that type of field position, the advantage is switched to their opponent.
The Steelers offense and DK Metcalf getting ready to go back to work. And he's looking to finish strong. He has been the star of the show as they have just had absolutely no answers for him defensively.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
They'll run it one.
And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down.
I like it. I like the call. Still an opportunity to run the football and chew up a little more time off the clock.
2nd and 6 at the Bengals 32-yard line.
Now a 2nd and 6. Here's one.
And he'll take this inside the 30 to about the 29, maybe the 28-yard line. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
Back-to-back 4-yard runs. Now, look, if they just do that all the way downfield, ball ends up in the end zone, but that's a little difficult to do.
Yeah, I think now 3rd and 2, that defense ready to stiffen up and stop that run. To throw, it's Rodgers. Nowhere to turn here. He's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. Trey Hendrickson in there to get him yet again. That is his 3rd sack tonight. They can't figure him out.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
So now on comes the field goal unit, and wow, this is no ordinary try here.
54-yard attempt.
And the kick is good. So you wonder how this one might be remembered the next time these two teams meet. But until then, this game's over.
Well, partner, under the lights in primetime, this offense, they gave the nation quite a show, putting up that many points to come away with what will certainly be a memorable win for them.
And, Brandon, I think it's as simple as this. Some players, some teams, they're just meant for the big stage. And when they get a chance to play in this type of atmosphere, where all eyes are on them and all the lights are shining brightly, they show up and they show out.
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. From Cincinnati, good night, everybody.